Give us just a second here. Okay. We are live streaming on YouTube. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Monday night. It is Monday, February 19th, and my name is Harlequin Murray. I am your co-host this evening, as I always am. And this is Ellen Winn's Team Zoom, where we go and help everyone on the team who is needing help to be able to learn how to build their DAC business. But I get the distinct honor and privilege of welcoming you all, and especially those of you who are just joining us for the first time. We appreciate the fact that you're here, and we're looking forward to getting to know you more and working with you going forward. But I get to introduce Ellen. She is a very good friend of mine. She and I have been friends for, I think, 18 years now. And just to give you a little bit of her background, she grew up just outside of Atlanta, Georgia, in a town called Dallas on her family's farm. She has a very strong business background. She worked with Domino's Pizza as an area training director. And she just told me I keep messing it up. So she also did corporate stuff. And my mind just went blank there. But anyways, she was doing that for many years. She then opened up her own pizza restaurants. She had 2 locations that she started from scratch. And so she's got a strong business background. She currently owns another business as well right now, but she also has a lot of experience in the network marketing world. That's where I met her. And at the time, she was the national training director for a network marketing company. So she's got a lot of experience in the training arena, being a business owner. And she has built a phenomenal team here with DAC. She's the highest ranking agent in the field, and we are so proud and honored to have her as our leader. So, Miss Ellen, can you go ahead and take it away?
I
And
can,
I
Harlequin.
totally flubbed it. You corrected me and
It's
I
all
didn't write
good.
it down.
So, what Harlequin was trying to say, when I was with Domino's, I was a regional training director, our regional trainer for the state of Georgia. And I was also a corporate operations director. So I worked on both sides of the house there. But as you guys, if you've been here before or you've seen any of my training, you know that I love training and I love sharing information with guys and helping you understand things. So thank you for that introduction, Harlequin. I appreciate it. And for the incredible team that I have built, that's you guys. So I'm so glad to have you guys here as part of this organization. It's really a privilege and a pleasure on my side to be able to work with you guys. So if this is the first time that you've joined us, welcome. We're glad you're here. If you're coming back again and again, I'm glad that we're providing content that makes you want to show up again and again. And get some water. And I don't know if you can hear or not, but if you hear anything snoring, I have my little Yorkie in the floor here and she is snoozing. So if you hear snoring in the background, it's my dog laying next to me here at my desk. Hey guys, I've got some great information I want to go through tonight, and this Zoom each week is an opportunity for you guys to ask questions. Now, during the week, Monday through Friday, we have a Zoom on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday where you're face-to-face or have a face-to-face opportunity with one of our corporate counterparts, whether it be our CEO, our leader over at Bank Breezy, Wade Cordell, or our healthcare divisions leaders. You've got the opportunity to ask questions, but many of you work full-time jobs and can't participate in those during the day there. So our Monday night Zooms is an opportunity for you to ask questions and get your answers. So tonight, I want to ask what it is that you're having challenges with. What are you having trouble with? What do you need some help with along the way? I'm going to go through a few slides, but just think about that because I'm going to open it up to questions after I go through the information that I put together for you. Okay, so let me get us into slide share mode And I'll get that screen popped up first. And go through the quick intro that I always do, because we do have so many new people. I always want to remind you that DAC provides you the upside of business ownership, simplified without any risk whatsoever. DAC is an 8-year-old company, has a proven success record. We have been profitable every single year, and we're now evolving into phase 2 and poised for massive growth. So it's perfect time for you to either be getting engaged with us or getting re-engaged if you've been with DAC for a while. If you're a self-starter and you're self-motivated, you can have a significant side business or full-time business here inside the protection of the DAC business model. Now, building your business here, you have the ability to earn solely by going out and getting personal customers. In fact, you going and getting personal customers is going to be the core part of your business. That's going to be your income generator, the main part of your business here initially. Okay, so you need to plan on going and getting personal customers, because you're not going to be qualified to earn on a team unless you do. Now, speaking of a team, if you want to earn more money and amplify your earnings, you can do that by building a team and leveraging your income ability there. So speaking of team, we go through the top recruiters each week. This past week, our numbers were a little bit down. We had 2 people that were tied for first place, and I didn't put a 1 over there to the left. We had Kenyatta Watkins and RBC LLC, both tied with 2 new recruits apiece. You had to have 2 or more agents to be named as a top recruiter. So all in all, we had 21 agents who had at least 1 new recruit for the week. So congratulations for those of you on the leaderboard, and for those of you that had a new agent recruit this past week. Right now is a great time to be putting new people in. We're about ready to launch our fundraising platform and our group platform with the RX flat fee pharmacy. And we're super excited about the potential for that to really drive some big numbers of customers to the table. Now, for you to stay up to date on our services, we have a tremendous agent resource center where there's pre-recorded trainings there. But every week, if you'll take 30 minutes and pop in on these live Zooms, you'll get the latest updates or the latest announcement for our healthcare on Tuesdays. Wednesdays with funding with Wade. Wade typically goes through some examples of fundings that have taken place over the previous week, or he talks about prime markets that you want to be targeting and so on. So it's always a great time to plug in and learn with them. And then Friday is our agent update, where we hear from our CEO, David Rutz, going through the latest news and developments with DAC. And this week should be packed with that information. We've got some new training booklets coming out, some new compensation document collateral. The compensation plan hasn't changed. I'll say that. We're saying it's a new compensation document simply because he's revised the documents that we have to break it down into simpler terms for the average person to understand. So that should be coming forth hopefully this week. And some of those documents are really going to be your handbook to be able to build your business by. All right, so talking about building your business and earning a significant income from personal client acquisition. This all boils down to you. And there are 3 main triggers in our compensation plan that you're in 100% control of. David covered triggers today, and I just thought, okay, let me put together some slides, and I'll give you my take on what he covered today. He covered it in great detail, and I'm going to simplify it, hopefully, and show you what those 3 triggers are in our comp plan that you need to be aware of, okay? So write these 3 things down. The first one is 50, the second one is 200, and the third one is 1,000, okay? 50, 200, and 1,000. And these are the numbers that are going to impact your ability to make money personally. Also, it's going to impact your ability to earn on a team if you're building a team, okay? And where do these numbers come from? Well, 50, 200, and 1,000, this is the revenue dollar that you need to go towards in your personal customer gathering. Okay. And I'll show you some charts where you can see what those numbers are and what the value of the different customer points are, or customer services that we market. But 50, 200, and 1,000 is where you want to start. First, I want to start, and we're going to go reverse. We're going to start with 1,000 because this is time sensitive. Many of you on this Zoom right now were here before last May. You signed up in DAC in 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, or sometime in 23 before May, right? So a lot of you are in this category. This 7-level bump up qualification is time sensitive. It's time sensitive for everybody in DAC, but specifically for those of you that your 12-month window is shortening. Let's first look at this second paragraph, okay? If you signed up as an affiliate after May 31st of 2023, that 7-level bump up bonus is ability for you to get to 1,000 in personal residual revenue or personal customer value within your 12-month anniversary. Okay. So if you just started, you're brand new, or you just started last month, you have a full 12 months to get to this 1,000 level to qualify for the 7-level bump up. But the ones that it's really time sensitive for are those of you that are on this short extension till May 31st. Okay. That would be me. That would be Harlequin and many of you that I see on here tonight. May 31st is going to be our deadline because that is our artificial 12-month anniversary that David set in place for us when he announced the residual compensation plan that included this 7-level bump up. What is the 7-level bump up? Well, it is an extra incentive that allows you to earn an extra 20 to 25% on your 7-level residual pay. So if you look at our compensation plan, we have personal commissions, we have personal our residual commissions and bonus commissions we can earn on a team. We can earn our 7-level residual pay. And this is what this is tied to specifically, which is the monthly residual part of the compensation plan. And you can earn a 20 to 25% bump only if you qualify within your first 12 months or by May 31st if you were here prior to May of last year. Okay, here's an example of the earnings. And I sent this out in an email last night. And I basically copied this verbatim as the example. Excuse me. So let's say that you earned $3,000 this month on your 7-level residuals. How would you earn $3,000? Well, your team would have earned $12,000. Okay. And on your 7 levels, you earn a 25% match. So if your team earned 12,000, 25% match of that would be 3,000. So if you earned 3,000, as I'm here on this next line, if you actually earned 3,000, but you're qualified for that 7-level bump up of 20 to 25%, 20 is the starting bump up. An extra 20% of 3,000 would give you an extra $600. So instead of getting a commission deposit for $3,000, you would actually get a deposit for $3,600 because you qualified for the 7-level bump up. Okay. So if you imagine over time on a month-to-month basis, this is just a single, a low month snapshot of what your income could be. Imagine if it stayed at 3,000 for the course of a year. Okay. 3,000 times 12 is $36,000 times another 20%. That means that you would earn an extra $7,200 in a year just because you took the time to go get qualified at that $1,000 level. Okay. Now that's just, again, that's a low example, but would it be worth an extra $7,000 for you to go get $1,000 in customer points? I would say so, because it could be tens of thousands a month or potentially hundreds of thousands a month that you would be leaving on the table if you don't go make an attempt to get qualified for this 7-level bump up bonus. How do you get there? Well, you go get 1,000 in personal residual revenue in your first 12 months or May 31st. Okay. Customer examples of how to get there. All right. The RX customer, each RX customer, whether it's an individual plan or a family plan, it puts $10 in residual revenue into the comp plan. So if it's your personal customer, you sign up one customer, you have 10 residual revenue points. In this example, I'm showing if you had 100 customers, 100 times $10 residual revenue would give you 1,000 in residual revenue. Okay. Our healthcare customer, as another example, those customers are each worth $40 in residual revenue. Again, whether it's an individual or whether it's a family plan, each plan that is sold is $40 residual revenue. So if you went the route of healthcare customers, then 25 customers times 40 residual revenue dollars would give you 1,000 in residual revenue. Okay. But understand this, and this is the key piece, is that all volume and any combination of customers, including funding, other services, identity theft, payment processing, all of it combined, everything that we market puts money into the residual side of the compensation plan. And every bit of that added together goes towards your $1,000. So since I just gave the example of RX customers and healthcare only, we'll say, what if you got 10 healthcare customers times 40, that'd be 400, right? And you had 60 RX customers times 10 is 600. That combined would give you the 1,000. Okay. Now, for you to get a better overview of that and that visual of how those dollars could add up, you can go to the compensation playlist in the YouTube channel, and video number 4 under the residual 7-level pay. About 2/3 of the way through that, David starts talking about that 7-level bump up. But hopefully you've got the picture here with what I just covered. But again, it's a lot of money laying on the table, and I would hate for you to miss it. And then all of a sudden, after you've missed it, your team start just exploding with growth, and you be regretting every month that you didn't take time to get yourself qualified. So want to make sure that you're aware of that. The next thing is where I said we're going to go 50, 200, 1,000. We're going backwards. We're starting with the 1,000. Next thing I want to go to is the 200 number that I wanted you to write down. And that 200 number impacts your ability to earn an enroller match. What is an enroller match? Well, when you first get started, you're here by yourself. But if you build a team, everybody that you enroll, they enroll through your partner page. You're now their enroller of record, and you can earn an enroller match on their income. You're automatically qualified on the residual income chart. You're automatically qualified to earn a 20% match on their income for your first 90 days as a new affiliate. Okay. But after 90 days, let's say that in the first 3 months here, these two ladies each went out. One earned $100, another earned $160 in residual income. That total between the two of them is $260. If it's in your first 90 days where you're automatically qualified to earn 20%, 20% of $260 would be a $52 enroller match that would get paid to you on the 15th of the month. Now, after 90 days, you must have customers of your own. You must have 200 personal residual revenue to continue being qualified to earn that 20% match as a minimum. Okay. So in this same example where we've got $260 between your two frontline enrollees, they made $260. If you don't have any customers, then that $52 enroller match goes away. You would not make it. Okay. However, if within your 90 days, you get yourself up to that 200 in personal residual revenue by the end of your 90 days, and those two made that money, there's that $52 enroller match right back in your wallet. Okay. Now, once you've missed it, you're not going to get paid on it by getting caught up that month, but you can always get caught up the next month and get qualified and earn on that next month's pay. Okay. So just to be clear on that. All right. The next thing is on bonuses. Now we've got two sides of the comp plan. We have our residual, where if you're focused on the consumer services with our RX plan, healthcare, even payment processing or identity theft, those are all residual based driven. That part of the comp plan is what we just covered. Now we also have the bonus part of our comp plan, which is primarily our funding program. Some of you are going to do that in addition to the RX. Some of you are going, nope, I just want to focus on RX. However, you need to pay attention to what I'm showing you here, because if you're building a team, even if you're leading with RX and that's really all you want to build on, and you're building a team that's focused on RX, it is inevitable that someone in your team is going to end up getting a funding client. And if they're on your front line, you can also earn an enroller match there. You're automatically qualified to earn an enroller match your first 90 days as an affiliate. So in this bonus example, let's say that your two frontline folks there, one earned $400, which would have been a $10,000 funding. They earned $400 in commission. Another other person frontline to you earned $1,160 in commission. Combined, they both earned $1,560. Your 10% match on that would be $156 enroller match, right? In your first 90 days. After 90 days, you must have either 200 in personal residual revenue, back to that 200 number, or you must be engaged. How do you get engaged? Well, you have to have a bonus client of your own, or amped, where again, you have to have a bonus client of your own. But we're keeping it simple and showing you how you can earn that enroller match simply by getting to 200 in personal revenue. Because if you don't have any and you're outside of your 90 days, then that enroller match just went away. Okay, show you that one more time. That 156 enroller match, if you had 0 personal residual revenue and you didn't have a bonus client of your own, then that part of your compensation would go away. But if we get you to 200 points, if you were back at 200 points here on that personal residual revenue and you're outside of your 90 days, you're still going to make that $156 enroller match. Even if you've never had a bonus client, you still will earn that 10% enroller match on all of your frontline people, as long as you have at least 200 in personal residual revenue. I think a lot of people miss that on the bonus plan. Now we're down to going backwards from 1,000, 7-level match, 200, that personal residual revenue to qualify you for your enroller match. Now let's talk about the 7-level pay. And this is where, again, most people miss this. So we want you to be here to win. How do you win? Well, you need a minimum of 50 personal customer revenue points, okay? Because if you don't have 50, you're not eligible to earn on anything that happens in your team, okay? 50 qualifies you for at least 3 levels of pay in your organization. The next thing you want to work towards is getting to team trainer, which is gradually increasing the number of personal customer revenue points that you have. So start towards 50 and then shoot for 100 and then shoot for 200, so that you're maximizing your enroller matches. And then of course you have a 12-month window to work towards getting to 1,000. And it all starts with one, right? Once you get one customer, you build your confidence, you get better at what to say and what you need to do, what works, what doesn't work. And the more customers you get, the easier it becomes at turning into a customer gathering machine. All right. So team trainer, that's our core rank. For you to get to team trainer, that's where you're building a team with you, and you start sharing this with at least 3 other people that are going to do the same thing as you. They're going to work towards getting 50 customer points, then to 100, and then to 200, and then be working their way towards 1,000 in personal residual revenue points. Okay. So I told you I would show you where these charts are, so you know what a customer is worth. Okay. Healthcare, real clear. Every healthcare plan is worth 40 residual revenue dollars. Our RX plan is worth 10 residual revenue dollars, whether it's individual or family. If you sell an annual plan on the RX plan, that's worth $110 the month that it gets sold. So you could sell 10. Yeah, you could sell 10 annual RX plans in 1 month and hit that 1,000 level in that 1 month. Okay. The next month, that $1,000 would not be there. So if you hit it 1 month, you'd have 90 days to re-qualify and start filling the funnel with monthly clients. But that's one way you could get there to that $1,000 bump up bonus to get qualified. Okay. But a little bit of progress every day can add up to big results. The next service that is real easy to work towards on getting residual customers. And I like this too, because just like healthcare and like the RX plan, people are going to pay for this. It's a monthly subscription. And because it's a monthly subscription, it shows up in your compensation every single month. And that is our ID Protect, where our product is as good or better than LifeLock, but it's cheaper than LifeLock. Okay. So anybody that is already on LifeLock, or if you have an ID protection through your bank or somewhere else, why not be your own customer? You know, if you owned a convenience store, wouldn't you be buying your own household goods through your own store, right? Anybody, if you own a business, you want to buy from yourself. So why not buy the ID Protect product from yourself instead of buying it through LifeLock or whoever you may have it with? Same thing with your RX plan and same thing with your healthcare. Become your own customer if it is a fit and if it's something that you're using anyway. But here's where your ID Protect values are there. So that's the end of the slides that I wanted to show you, and I'm going to open up for questions, see what we might have tonight. Who's having a challenge that you want to address? Or actually, Harlequin, you had a success story that you wanted to share about your chiropractor visit. You want to talk about that real quick while we're seeing if anybody's got questions?
Yeah, I actually had a meeting with, well, it was a networking event at a wellness center where they had all different types of practitioners. There was, hypnotherapists, there was chiropractors, there were acupuncturists, and then there was a psychiatrist that I spoke to. And I noticed in their waiting room that they had the Good RX discount cards available. And he and I talked about different medications that we had on our plan. But one thing he told me that's a good tip, he said that Good RX had never even called them. They just went and mailed these cards and a holder whenever they opened up this office 2 years ago. And he's like, yeah, he's like, they know nothing about us. They just went and shipped it to us. And chances are they're probably still shipping the information or the cards to our old address that we haven't been in for 2 years. So that's one thing. There's no personal contact with Good RX and the doctors that they send these cards to. But he and I talked, and a lot of the medications that he prescribes are on our free list. So he is definitely going to promote it to his clients. And so I had to go out to the car to get some stuff to give to him to put in his in his waiting area. And whenever I came back in, I said, oh, I'm not sure if you're aware of this. And this is something that I got from Ellen, but, Good RX now has a telemedicine program that they're promoting, where they are promoting that their members go and call their telemedicine rather than calling their primary care physicians. And whenever the psychiatrist heard that, he's like, oh yeah, no, they're not doing that here. And he went and picked up the thing and went and dumped it in the trash. He's like, yeah, we're not giving them any more business. when they're taking away our business. So that's something for you guys to think about. But psychiatrists are a good group to go after if you're wanting to put the cards into a medical facility. They're a little bit easier to get into, I think. So are chiropractors and that type of stuff. So, yeah, it was a very good thing, and hopefully we'll be getting some signups from there.
Awesome. That's a
And
great.
yeah, and APS Tony has a question. You can go ahead and, if you don't know how to raise your hand, go ahead and unmute yourself and you can go ahead and ask your question. Or did you have something to say about that first, Ellen? I'm sorry.
No, I don't. Go ahead, Tony.
Um, no, I just I've been a member for like 2 years almost, and I haven't gotten any loans processed or I have one person signed up, but I just I mean I, I and I have another person interested, but the fact that I don't have anything closed is not really, convincing him to want to sign up. So, yeah. So I don't know if what really to, I mean, I've sent him some videos to watch and stuff, but I don't know what else to really tell him. To
Well, let me ask you this. Is he interested in the funding side of our business?
yeah, but
Yeah. Okay. So what I always have said, whenever somebody's asking about me and my success, if I've not had a client yet with whatever business it is, I just always defer back to the other people that are having success. I may, whatever it is, I'm telling the truth. I'll say, well, hey, I haven't been promoting it like I should. I've been busy with my job or with my other business. But I do know for a fact that we have a lot of people in DAC that are having great success with this. So don't rest your ability to have success here on whether I've had success or not. I know it works, and the people that are actively working DAC are bringing funding clients to the table. So something on those lines might be able to help you there. And have him listen in on some of the Zooms where Wade Cordell on the Wednesday Zooms, that's open to anybody, even somebody that's a prospective agent. He can listen in to what Wade is saying, and Wade always opens up for questions. And your prospect could actually ask Wade questions about funding, who's getting funding or what type of clients and all of that. So he could interact there as well. But I appreciate your honesty in saying, hey, you've been here a couple of years and you haven't had a funded client yet. Many of us didn't have those funding clients because, guys, if you're just now getting engaged in DAC, that was really our flagship and our only program for the longest time. For the first several years was funding and the B2B services. We're excited now that we have the consumer services. So it gives those of us that are part-time or full-time the ability to get customers along the way while we're working towards those funding clients. So stick with that. But I'm happy to do a call if I can help you with your prospect and answer any questions or concerns that they have. But you just continue on staying plugged in, and I encourage you to see about getting some RX customers and at least start getting some clients in the funnel. Because if you're having some wins along the way, even though it may not be a funding client, it's going to help you build that confidence and faith that this really does work, where you may not have seen that success quite yet, if that makes sense for you.
okay. Yeah, I still have a whole bunch of drop cards. And I give those out. So, I have a full-time job and another side job that I do. And I come across a lot of contractors, and I'm always handing them the cards, and I mentioned to them, that we do the, I say medical, but maybe it's not really considered medical. Um, I mean, no, health insurance.
Right, our healthcare,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not insurance, but you can say healthcare. My favorite line or my favorite question is, what are you guys doing for healthcare? What are you guys doing for health insurance? Because I'm asking them what they're doing for health insurance, even though we don't have an insurance product. It's kind of an insurance product combination of a health share, but I'm not a licensed insurance agent, so I want to be careful how I present that. But you can ask them what they're doing for health insurance right now, that we have a healthcare program that will probably save them significantly to the tune of about $8,000 a year if it's an individual. And I have story after story after story of clients that I've signed up that are actually on our healthcare plan now, where they're saving $770 a month. A couple saving almost $1,000 a month versus what they were paying with other carriers before they got started with us. So
Okay.
good stuff. Keep handing those cards out.
Yeah.
It's
And
the right person's hand.
yeah, and I know I need to go and just hit up a lot of businesses, just door to door, and just going in person and handing them out. Um, and I don't know what else to really do. I tried, making a Facebook page, and it's just it's very hard to get people to, to go to that page and actually know like what it's about, or and then I have to create content and all that, so it's you know it's
Yeah.
kind of that's kind of frustrating, so I just kind of given up on that aspect of it, and I just want to, I guess, focus on maybe calling some of these businesses over the phone and then just seeing them in person versus trying to do
All
it
of that
online.
works. Yeah, all of it works, whichever avenue you decide works with your timelines. Social media works, but you have to be consistent with posting, and you have to have people that are actually seeing your page. And for them to see your page, you have to be consistent with that interaction. What I have found successfully with my Facebook, I do have a business page, but I make business posts on my personal page where I have a lot more interaction than I do through my personal page. And I'm recording videos, telling stories about healthcare and telling stories about the RX plan and posting those videos or doing a live video. And I have friends that are reaching out. They're saying, "Hey, Ellen, I've been watching your videos. I've been listening to your videos." And that is getting some traction. But again, I'm putting that on my personal page, not just creating a separate standalone business page on Facebook. So consistency, and again, whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's making calls or going in and introducing, what I would recommend, since you're doing this very part-time, is to set yourself a goal every day, whether it's getting out 5 cards or having a big goal of getting out 10 cards a day of your drop cards, and being intentional about getting those out. When you stop to get gas, look around in the parking lot where you are, and you're going to see work trucks there, and just go over to someone and say, "Hey, are you the owner by any chance?" And just introduce yourself. "Hey, I just want to introduce myself. I'm a local business owner too. My name is Tony. I'm in business funding. I'd like to give you my card if that's okay. If I can ever help you when you're looking to expand and grow and your bank can't help you, I'd love to be your go-to resource." And just pass that off. People will be friendly and they'll be receptive to you when you do that introduction, because nobody comes up and introduces themselves anymore in a friendly way like that. Our society is just so busy. People are on their phones, they're stopping and doing their thing and moving on. So you'll probably be a very welcome surprise to say hello to someone like that. So,
All right, sounds good.
all right.
One other thing, is this recorded like on a YouTube? Go back and watch later.
It is.
Okay.
We
All
are
right.
streaming live on my YouTube channel, and I also send it out, the recorded link in my emails going back out every week. So I'll send it out tonight along with today's recording from what David did.
Okay. Can I just add my email on here and you can save it?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you will go to subscribe, subscribe.ellenwin.link, you can add yourself to my email list there. Subscribe.ellenwin.link. Thank you. Harlequin just put that in the chat.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for the
And-
question and conversation. Yes, ma'am.
One thing that I'm going to add to this, Tony, do you know whose team you're on?
I signed up under uh, a guy, but I don't remember his name, but I've been in contact with Bill Shaw.
Okay. Just in general, for everybody that's on here, we're always, your upline team leader is always going to be available to help you do three-way calls whenever you have somebody who is looking to become a potential client or an agent. So, you may want to find out who your upline leader is so that you know who you can contact to get help with that.
And one way, if you don't know your upline leader, you can look to see who your enroller is through your back office. When you log in to your agent back office, on the left-hand side, it says my team. And I think enroller is the first one under my team there. Okay. All right. Awesome. Let's go to Greg. Hey, Greg, how are you tonight? If you
I'm
can
fine,
unmute.
thank you. Just a real quick question. I'm brand new, and I'm still not quite clear on the 200 and the 90 days. It's a one-time 90-day offer, right? After the first 90 days, you never get that again?
No, that's not true. Okay, good question, and I'm glad you asked that. The one that goes away is the 1,000, getting to 1,000 in your first 12 months. Okay,
Okay.
but the 290 days. Let's say you are new and you bring Susan into the business. Susan goes and gets a client while you're in your first 90 days. You're going to get your enroller pay on what Susan earns.
Yeah, I
Okay.
understand that.
After 90 days, if you don't have 200 in personal residual revenue customer points yourself, then whatever Susan makes, you won't get that enroller match until you get to 200 in personal residual revenue. So essentially, it is a month-to-month snapshot. Okay, that's how our residuals work. We look at the end of the month at midnight Eastern time, the last day of the month. The computer says, okay, here's what Greg's volume is for this month. If you end the month with over 200, next month you're qualified to earn that enroller match, whether it's a funding or whether it's the residual revenue.
It's just the first 90 days you join, you have a grace period.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right, that makes sense, because worst case scenario, if I didn't ever sponsor anybody for a year, then it wouldn't matter, would it? I could have basically a year to get to 200.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure I understood it correctly. I wasn't quite sure of that. I thought it was a one-time deal, but it's the 1,000 that's a one-time deal.
Right. Now, that example that you just gave on you could take a year to get to 200. If you took a year to get to 200 and missed that 1,000 in a year, then you would forever miss that opportunity for that bump up bonus.
No, I understand that. I just wasn't quite clear on the 90. I thought it was a one-time deal. So
yeah, no, it's a grace period, and that's exactly.
Thank you. I'm clear on that now. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, no, thanks for the question. I'm sure you weren't the only one. All right. Anybody else?
And actually, I'm going to interject here because Greg, you've already sponsored somebody, I believe, Terry Sneed, correct?
I got another one today, and Terry got 3 today.
Yeah. So you need to start working on your 200.
No, I'm definitely doing that. I mean,
I
I've
know.
got my cards and my holders for the cards, and I'm already passing them out. So
yeah, awesome.
Yeah, he's just being the devil's advocate.
Right,
yeah.
right.
I always want to know what's the worst case scenario, okay? Because from that point you can move forward. But if you don't know, and all of a sudden you get past the point and you go, oh man, I didn't know that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that. All right. Anybody else?
Congrats on that. I do have a question in the chat from Michael Pipkin. He says, I'm totally new to DAC, just signed up this afternoon on Pacific time. So congrats to Michael. And he wants to focus on the business fundings and credit card processing space. Can you point me towards any online DAC trainings regarding those products and generating leads for getting that business?
Yeah, absolutely. So you want to go to your welcome letter that you just got, Michael, and welcome. Go to that welcome letter with your DAC links, and there's a link over to log into your back office. When you log into the back office, on the left-hand side of the menu, you'll see Agent Resource Center. When you open up the Agent Resource Center, it's going to open on the Getting Started page. Okay, that's going to be your first starting point. One, the video with David, the welcome video, and then the funding overview that was recorded 2 weeks ago. So you want to go through all of that training video that he does on the funding. He talks about the funding process, the qualifications, the mindset, how our pricing works on funding, the whole big picture on funding in that. And then there's also across the top of the Agent Resource Center, you'll see in that heading, you have a drop down for all of the different services. So once you've gotten familiar with the funding, then you want to go over and click on the payment processing. We have a good training in there with our partner, Hugh Pober. Hugh is our high risk processor. I believe we still have the low risk and high risk processor on our page. But if I were you, if I'm talking to someone about payment processing, I'm going to tell my client to make sure that they say that they are high risk as far as their industry goes. That way they will get funneled over to Hugh, who you'll hear from in the training. Hugh has more resources and more flexibility on the processors that he connects a client with than our low risk processor does. So I would divert all of the business over to Hugh simply by saying that it is a high risk business. But both of those trainings are updated and very good. And then, it all starts with a conversation. There's also some scripts in there and some introductory things that you might want to say to a client to get that door open. Another piece on that, even though you're wanting to lead with funding, I find that healthcare is a ubiquitous conversation for anybody and everybody. So since our healthcare is available to individuals and to business owners, it might be a great door opener for you in that. Another thing I'll say in that conversation about business funding or healthcare in our RX service, many people say, okay, well, I just don't know how to make that switch from one service to the other. I quickly adopted the fact that my agency has two divisions when I'm talking about what I do with DAC. My company has two divisions. We have a financial services division where we help businesses get working capital and funding if they can't get approved at their bank. We can also help them save tremendously on their payment processing. But we also are saving business owners through our healthcare division, where we have a tremendous healthcare offering that is typically about $4,000 a year cheaper than any group plan that you might have your employees on right now. So look at it as two divisions that you're offering, and that's a really easy conversation switch instead of just trying to promote funding and or healthcare individually, but have your business with two different divisions, and it'll really turn into a smooth transition in the conversation for you. Of course, the more conversations you have, the smoother that transition becomes, right? Practice, practice, practice. All right. Well, thank you for the questions. If no one else has anything, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Harlequin, any last thing here?
There was one other question, and I'll just go ahead and answer it because I've heard this from several people. We are in the process of setting up something with Vistaprint to get things printed out, but that is not yet live. Currently, if you go into the Agent Resource Center under each of the different categories, if you go to the bottom of the page, for all of you that are new, there are marketing materials available. There's flyers, there's business cards, there's what we call a Connect card, which is more of a postcard size. And on those, you can go and you can customize it on Canva. It's set up to go directly to Canva, where you can go and put in your name and everything like that. For those of you who are new, especially, make sure you have somebody else proofread it and have somebody else proof your QR code to make sure that it's working properly. And then you can, once you have it set up, you can download it and you can have it printed anywhere. You can have Canva print it, you can send it to Vistaprint, you can have your local Staples or Office Depot or your local printing company print those documents for you. Because I've had that question several times, and Sherry had put that in the comments or the chat. So
Good stuff. Good explanation. Okay, guys. If no other questions, we have healthcare training tomorrow with Jake. So make sure you take about 30 minutes is all he spends with us, but it's always great information. All right. We look forward to seeing you on a Zoom in the near future, and look forward to seeing you guys on the leaderboards with some customers and also new recruits. So thanks for showing up tonight. We appreciate you. Take care. See you soon.